Hello students, and welcome to Learning Module number 7. This week we'll look at social TV, a 5-year-old phenomenon and one of my favorite topics as I organized one of the first social TV conferences in 2011, founded Social TV Daily, and judged social TV awards for mainstream television as well as the Spanish language media and sports. The field has come a long way since it was named MIT Tech Review's Top 10 Technologies to Watch in 2010. Today, social media is integrated into programming, production, advertising, and measured in the hopes of producing more accurate standards of audience and engagement. Let's get started. In looking at social TV, or the second screen, we will look at how television is being disrupted. We'll examine engaged viewers, talk about what is at stake, who the players are, and the new television season, which is underway. What is social TV? Well, it has its roots in the audience, where people are watching television programming and using social platforms to share about it in real time. It has risen with the growth of social media across society. People want to talk about what they're doing, watching, and they want to share with friends. Many are doing it with mobile devices like laptops, tablets, and smartphones. It's been a fast-growing phenomenon, and one that interests advertisers greatly, who are looking to optimize their spend, and networks who want to be part of the conversation around their programming. Television has always sparked social interaction. People used to talk about last night's program around the water cooler at work the next day. Now they do it in real time with the assembled audience using social media. If you've used social media to talk about a television show in real time, you're part of this. If you've used your mobile device in social media and talking about a show in real time, you've participated not only in television but also in the second screen phenomenon. Not everybody has, as less than 25% of TV watchers share on social media. But that's a number that it's growing, and it's an important number. Let's first take an overhead view at multi-device multitasking. Most everyone is doing it. The smartphone is the leading companion device, while Accenture Consulting Research says the laptop or desktop computer is the top companion device for TV, while the smartphone is second. I will be posting these slides on Blackboard, so you can go back and visit the links and explore the content more deeply as you do your work this week. TV, long the predominant entertainment device, is now being disrupted by other devices, and this is causing a change in the creation and distribution of television content to engage wherever the audience is and however the audience wants to engage with the content. Over the top, cord cutting, streaming, and social media are all part of this disruption, as time spent on digital, as we have seen before, is increasing at the expense of other media. Accenture Consulting says over 1 billion users discuss TV using their devices, and that must be a very big consideration audience measurement, such as ratings, and for advertisers to understand what is going on in television broadcasting. Let's take a look at the topics and the shows that people are sharing about. This is from marketingcharts.com, and it's based on data from a study in May of 2015. It looks at TV engagement by show type, showing percentage of viewers who share about the shows they watch. Overall, it's 16% of users. Reality shows are the top genre with 47%, imagine that, followed by music and drama. People love to chime in on new series and on streaming shows, as you can see on the chart, going from the left to the right, average, top shows, type of shows. Let's look at some milestones as measured by social TV comments made on Twitter. The top event is the Super Bowl from February 2015 with an audience of 16.1 million people, as indicated by the purple circle at the left. The top special event was the Grammy Awards, also in February, with 13.3 million, then the Saturday Night Live 40th Anniversary special, followed by The Walking Dead with 7.4 million. The first two events are regarded as tentpole events, big annual events where producers and marketers have time to make plans and preparations to actually optimize the audience and the interactions. On the row below is the volume of tweets for shows, with the Super Bowl peaking about 243,000 tweets a minute at 8:19 p.m., which, and this is a guess, is about the end time for halftime and the beginning of the second half. Consider what this tells you about people's behavior on social TV. This chart is the Nielsen Twitter ratings for broadcast shows on Thursday, October 8th, 2015. ABC, as you can see, had 3 of the top shows, while the CW had 2 of the shows. At 8 p.m., Grey's Anatomy had 8.2 million viewers, according to Nielsen, while at 9, Scandal had 8.76 million viewers. Vampire Diaries at 8 on the CW had an audience of 1.38 million. At 10, How to Get Away had 7.22 million. These numbers are for scripted shows. NFL football drew an audience of 15 million viewers. And you can see from here that Nielsen, which is the ratings company that's relied on by the industry, has now integrated Twitter. They're still trying to figure out how to make that value proposition to advertisers. Twitter has emerged as the leading conduit for the social media conversation about television. The company employs executives and has a team that serves broadcast and advertising partners in the television industry and a program to support and advance social TV. Twitter is strongest for real-time sharing in sports and news, according to this report from San Francisco's Ring Digital Social TV Index, and that was put out in the summer of 2015. There is a robust social TV conversation on Facebook, and it's growing as a platform for social television, while Twitter is down. Facebook would like to replace Twitter as the social TV platform of choice. Twitter, with less users than Facebook, would like to maintain its position, of course. That's why you've seen rollout of new products like to support the social TV advantage, like TV show timelines, moments, and more. So, Facebook is behind Twitter, but growing as Twitter recedes somewhat, while other platforms like Facebook's Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube also gain favor as social TV platforms, and a host of newcomers are being adopted for the space like WhipClip, my favorite, Clipit, and live streaming platforms like Meerkat and Periscope. Would you rather be Twitter? Or would you rather be Facebook, or would you rather be some of the other disruptors? The ad market in the United States is nearly $187 billion and is sure to increase with the coming of the presidential elections. Digital is growing in double digits to $53 billion, while TV is down slightly year over year. Looking at the networks by social presence, as you can see on this chart, there may be some surprises for you. ESPN is measured as the top social media network on television according to Shareable Social, while Spanish language network Telemundo is second, and Univision is fourth behind ABC. If you want to see a network that is eagerly participating in this new form of connection with its audience, observe Univision's program and innovations. This chart measures Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube activity. Going into the fall season, Twitter analytics company TweetReach examined the pre-premiere activity on the platform, rating programs by the buzz generated. These charts list 15 shows by Twitter activity. On the left, the most active pre-premiere, Muppets on ABC, Heroes Reborn on NBC, and Blood and Oil on ABC. Those were rated the top 3. In the middle chart is the middle performers, NBC's Best Time Ever with Neil Patrick Harris, Minority Report on Fox, and Blind Spot on NBC were the 3 top spots on the middle performers, while on the low end, Life in Pieces on CBS, Limitless on CBS, and The Player on NBC were the top 3 of the low performers. You can search online for ratings to see how each show is performing during the season, and go to Nielsen Social TV ratings to see a measurement of audience behavior on social. Which shows will be renewed? Social media will play a part in that decision, to be sure. This chart is the weekly Nielsen Twitter TV ratings for series and specials, with Empire on Fox producing 2.8 million people audience as measured through Twitter. that generated nearly 32 million impressions, with 152,000 people creating 634,000 tweets, followed by Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, The Daily Show, Scream Queens, and Saturday Night, respectively. You can look at the chart, or you can search for the most recent one. Sports gets a special chart of its own, a separate chart. NBC Sunday Night Football was the top program with an audience of 24 million, followed by CBS Thursday Night Football with 19 million, then NCIS on CBS with 16 million. The Twitter TV ratings had the Ravens at Pittsburgh NFL game, the top sports event for the week, with 5.8 million uniques as an audience and 702,000 tweets by 247,000 unique authors. ESPN's game of KC at Green Bay was second, then NBC's Cowboys in New Orleans third. The top three shows had a unique Twitter audience of better than 5.5 million uniques each. While this is an insight into audience behavior, it also can show you how far the ratings game has come when you can get this kind of data out of tweets. All right, now let's examine things from the network side and the network's interaction with their audience using social media, in this case, Facebook. This is looking at the Facebook operations of 36 networks, as well as Netflix and Hulu, and is measured by Brandwatch, which found that each network had an average of 7.2 million page likes. They posted 8.5 times a day, and they made 3.5 comments on average. On the audience side, which is indicated by the blue, the audience was recording 35,000 likes a day and 1.2 million comments on average, and 3.3 thousand shares. Which of these social media actions do you think is most important to the advertisers, to the broadcasters, and what indicates the biggest engagement, to use the word largely, by the audience? TV is in the midst of a big change, and the New York Times writes in a recent column that it is returning to a communal experience because of social media. Now, for theory. Judging by your work on virality in Learning Module 4, you are impressed by Henry Jenkins and his thoughts. This paper, by Jonathan Hutchinson, based on research on public broadcasting in Australia, caught my eye. It deals with media in the public interest and examines social TV as something that transcends political boundaries, such as the nation's borders, and creates a larger audience for conversation, changing the role of public service media and broadcasting in specific areas, like in Australia. If this kind of conversation is interesting to you, click the link on the slide, examine the paper, and then look at the bibliography. The paper is recent. The citations provide a good theoretical framework to understand the emerging phenomenon of social TV. You can do other research, and I expect you to do so. This quote is from Leslie Nasser, who works with an agency that gives services to the ABC network. She talks about Twitter as being the power in social TV. They own the audience banter. Love that. But Facebook is a powerful opponent. Can Facebook overcome Twitter? Time will tell. In 5 years, we have seen social media arrive, engage an audience, and cause a diversion of players. Is it game over? Not likely at all. Snapchat, Clipit, and more are taking share and growing. This is from a research paper by a student at Elon University in North Carolina, and it offers a summation that I'll agree with. There's more to come. The student graduated, by the way, and got work in the social media industry and now lives in Seattle, as I could tell, from LinkedIn. Be sure to go to Blackboard to check the assignment. This week, you will watch a program and participate in a real-time stream of social TV. Check out the show, but be sure to also check out the actors and the great followers of the show to see the conversation. At the local level, You'll check out a news program or a public TV show and observe and record how they bring in social media and how they reach out. You're going to propose a campaign and ensure measures for success. You'll be able to defend your stuff and be sure to give citations and sourcing for everything. At this point in this course, as we're looking toward the midterm, you really should be able to do research and show what you're doing to help us understand your thoughts and ideas. Make sure you do that. And we'll talk to you next week.